Well, I was walking down the street, feeling kindly, when the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Oh, it was a sight to see, my hair flying in the breeze, 'cause the wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. People started laughing, they couldn't believe their eyes as my wig flew through the sky. Oh, what a surprise. I tried to catch it, but it slipped right through my hands, 'cause the wind came out your butt and now it's somewhere in the land. Oh, wind came out your butt and blew my wig off. Baby, you drive like shit. Did you see that car that you almost hit? I'd rather take the bus instead. Riding with you, I'm gonna end up dead. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. She just ran through, always stop. I ain't trying to get stopped by the cops. Baby, why the hell did I let you drive? It's a miracle that you're still alive. Don't ask me if I need a lift. Baby, you drive like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look out, my girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. My girl is driving. Watch out, my girl drives like shit. Heard you think you're tough. Gotta let you know I will fuck you up. I whoop that ass, talking all that shit, spank that ass till you tap like a bitch. Though I ain't playing, I'm here to kick ass. Whoop that ass, it's time to punch face. I'm the one who brings you pain in the ring. I whoop that ass until the bell rings. Already know that I do not play. Throw a punch like I'm cutting down hay. I whoop that ass every single night. Spank that ass till they stop the fight. I'll tell you the story of a man, a radioactive tip in his hand. His hand grew 10 times its normal size to help him get his money on time. He knew if the bitch was telling a lie, which was 100% of the time. Superpowers to make a bitch listen, then get her naked with sex-ray vision. Sweep a police station in a single bound, slapping bitches down to the fucking ground. His name was famous across the land. They called him the pimp named Superhand. Oh shit, yeah, his pimp named Superhand. He had powers no other pimp had. Oh fuck yeah, his pimp named Superhand. That motherfucker was super bad. Asking for dinner ain't asking for much. You had one job and still fucked it up. Sometimes you gotta learn respect. I use my pimp hand to correct. It's called a bitch slap, slap. Come get your face clapped.
Don't tell me about me. Stop telling 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 me about me. I don't need you to tell me about me. What's good, fam? It is School for Justice. Welcome in, welcome in. Glad to have you here back one more night. And we will address the young lady that was deleted by ICE in Minnesota. As we know, it's going pretty viral, you know, all over the news and plastered all over. A high-profile case where we want to dig in deep and see what went down, how it went down, how her rights were violated, and it ended up into an unaliving. So you all sit back, relax, join the show, get your popcorn, get your wine, whatever you may need, and let's dig into this topic. All right, we're going to go ahead and start the content.
Let go! Whoa. Let go! Whoa! Kill someone else! Kill someone else!
That's a spicy one there, folks. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if they're a uniformed police officer, an ICE agent, other federal agent, soldier, or just a random person on the street. You do not grab their weapon unless they are someone who is actively perpetrating a crime, like an active shooter or something like that. Then obviously those rules go out the window. But generally speaking, you never grab somebody's weapon, because what you do by grabbing that weapon is display your intent to take it from them. Even though that was never going to happen in this case, they don't know that. All they feel is the resistance, and they can't read your mind. All they know is I've got exterior force, somebody's trying to take this weapon from me. In this case, it's a less than lethal launcher. That doesn't mean that it can't be lethal. But if it had been a regular rifle, pistol, shotgun, it's irrelevant. You grabbed for the weapon, you gave the external stimuli of that weapon trying to be taken from. Because here's the other thing about that. Protracted unconsciousness. Any weapon can become a lethal weapon. If you take that launcher from him and crack him over the head in the right spot, even though he's got a helmet on, there's a chance of extreme bodily harm or death. So, and if consciousness is lost, then it is assumed that the ramification of that being defenseless could be death following. So the general rule is, as someone who has attended, I can confidently say, thousands of hours of self-defense training over the course of my career, that if someone is trying to take your weapon from you, then you have a right to give it right back to them at the operational velocity that it produces.
Okay, so what we have going on right here is the gentleman, this is on the protest. You know, they've been protesting hard ever since the deletion on Wednesday, just a few nights ago, a few days ago or whatnot, where the ICE officer deleted the young lady who was sitting in her vehicle. So he's addressing, you know, as far as the weapons go, and on that concern during the protest. And do not anything can be used as a weapon. Those are the way that the officers are trained. And so we're going to dig in and dive in a little bit deeper just to see where this is finna go.
So don't do that stuff. This dude, it looks to me like he got off pretty easy. All things considered, it looks like he walked away from the incident in that he wasn't arrested. Obviously, we can't see the rest of the video, but wherever you go, you're much more likely to use your medical equipment than your firearm in self-defense. We have a discount code at Medical Gear Outfitters. You can use that to great effect. I'll have it listed in all the relevant places, but that's as far as I'm willing to go today. Quick heads up, folks, 10-second warning. Anybody in the room, including yourself, that may be sensitive should look away now. There will be language, and there may be some scenes that are disturbing to some folks.
All right, so he touched in on the protest, and we saw the little small clip on that right there. Hey, if it's self-defense, if anyone, I don't care who it is, if they're in a badge, if they're not in a badge, if they're government official, if they're your next door neighbor, if they're the average Joe Blow, if somebody's coming at you, then you have a right to defend yourself. All right, so that's what we saw and just witnessed or reviewed on the first clip. So now we're going into the actual topic and what led up to all of this in the state of Minnesota is spreading nationwide. Also, a lot has been going on in Oregon too here recently as well. So this is the actual footage that we're finna check out that went down on Wednesday afternoon.
Going to play uncensored.
And we'll skip the
You have been warned. Now I'm going to react to this video. As the video opens, we see 3 vehicles in frame, some people milling around in the middle of the street. All 3 of these vehicles are in the middle of the street. The lead vehicle is pulled slightly to the port, but definitely in the middle of the street. Appears to be off. The second vehicle appears to be more perpendicularly oriented in the street. It appears to be on. The third vehicle seems to have been fed up with this and is trying to get around whatever is going on there in the street. We then see a fourth vehicle, move into the frame. Agents get out of that vehicle and order the driver of that vehicle to get out of the vehicle. We don't know the circumstances here, although the inferences that could be drawn from this appears, at least from the outside looking in with the absence of any other information, that these vehicles are in some way trying to block the street to impede the movement of the officers in the vehicle that stopped. There are 3 agents in this video, one of which you cannot see. One on the farthest left is providing cover for the one that is opening the door. And then the third agent is either positioning himself in front of the vehicle to prevent it from fleeing or going to the passenger side for the purposes of getting a different perspective. If there's anybody else in the vehicle, are there any weapons in the car, that sort of thing. They intend to take this woman out of her vehicle. Then the critical point happens. Somewhere in the space of those 2 activities, the driver of the vehicle hits the accelerator. You can see the tires spin. The officer in front of the vehicle, whether he was on the way to the other side or had positioned himself in front, sees the tires spin. The agent, seeing those tires turn, pulls his weapon and proceeds to discharge. We see some glass dust as he shoots through the windshield, and he continues to discharge his weapon as the car goes by.
Okay, I would like to stop right there. So we already see previously, if we go back just a tad, right, we can witness that the officer already had his finger on the trigger before the woman even hit the gas in her car. Pay attention. This is in slow motion, okay? We're gonna recap this right there, bam. So as we can witness, the officer already has his hand on the trigger, okay? Technically, she has not hit the gas or pulled off in her vehicle. This is slow motion. So let's recap.
You can see the tires spin. The officer in front of the vehicle, whether he was on the way to the other side or had positioned himself in front, sees the tires spin. The agent, seeing those tires turn, pulls his weapon and proceeds to discharge. We see some glass dust as he shoots through the windshield, and he continues to discharge his weapon as the car goes by. Here's the thing. I'm not going to get super into the weeds on this, whether it's a good shoot or bad shoot. There will be a huge investigation about that. But he did not draw his pistol until those tires turned. That vehicle weighs a couple thousand pounds. It is absolutely a lethal weapon.
Wrong answer. He already had his hand on his fire before she even started to move back, move her vehicle, period, at any aim, any speed, and turn her wheel. It is done in slow motion. We can clearly see the video. Then she goes to turn her wheel, and at this point, he already got his hand on the fire and is lifted up to go ahead and aim. So that goes to show intent. Intent is already being perpetrated and planned before she even hits the gas and pull off, while she's still sitting there in all three officers' presence. Let's continue to watch. Give it just 1 second. Got to get it back on the screen. Knocked off. And here we go.
It could be argued that he perceived that it was being used against him in that manner, and he sought to prevent that from happening. The next thing I'm going to say are things that I do not necessarily agree with, but are facts. Law enforcement officers have a special status. They are agents of the government, and therefore they have a monopoly on violence. I don't agree with that in most instances. However, if you are committing a felony, then an officer has the capacity to use lethal force to stop you from fleeing. If he perceived that he was going to be struck by this vehicle and that this person was going to hit him or somebody else, that's an aggravated battery. That is felony. And that is something that could constitute the use of lethal force. Also, I'd like to talk to you about the whole concept of qualified immunity, which is that a public official or law enforcement official cannot be held liable for activities that they have undertaken while in their official capacity. I don't agree with that.
Okay, so basically what we see here, if at all or at the most, if the lady committed a crime by driving off, it would have been aggravated battery, okay? Which you arrest a person, you do your job, all right? This was just a cold blood unaliving. This was a cold blood unaliving to your own citizen. This was to your own people. Your job is out there looking for illegal immigrants. And this was done to a citizen here in your own country at a low rate crime state, Minnesota. There's a lot of the protests, and there's been some other extra activity and even more pow-pows in the state of Oregon. Low crime rates states. So at this point, and I'm sure over half the population voted for the commander-in-chief. So it's just backfiring on them. As we see, this is a cold-blooded unaliving by authority officials who are held at a higher standard. Qualified immunity and immunity. I would like to know what's your thoughts. I thank you for joining in and sharing with me on this evening and listening out to me. What can be done? We have to stand up for our rights. At that time, you exercise your First Amendment. The governor, Tim Walz, said, exercise your 19th Amendment during the protests. And he wished you do so peacefully to end any more harm or danger or any more lives being unnecessarily taken. and definitely exercise your Fifth Amendment right. Learn the laws, learn your rights, use your power. And as always, we should stand together in unity. What's your thoughts? I would love to hear them. Please share with me, like, and subscribe. Shout out to my guy here. That is VOS. Shout out to VOS. Appreciate you here on the platform. All right. And until next time, you know, this is something that is definitely getting out of hand. This is something that we need to take seriously as a nation. We used to be the most strongest, powerful nation in the world. We're going downhill. Other nations used to look up to us. This is something that has to change because it can be any of us. So please join in with me on your thoughts where I conquer, attack, and destroy police brutality. And until next time, I am your host, Kenique Jackson. Join me here at School for Justice, where we live, laugh, and love. And salute. Peace out.